Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So I've been meaning to do this for like a week. Funny enough, maybe I haven't been on top of some of these things. So I wanted to do a video going over, mostly what I'm focusing on is the Xenoverse characters. It's kind of like the main point. But there's a couple of other non-Xenoverse characters we'll talk about here. So, Dragon Ball Heroes is done. Which bothers me forever. This is now just a permanent black mark on my heart, which is just not fair by Shueisha or whatever dumbass decided to make this decision. We live in, unfortunately, a less fun world with Dragon Ball Heroes no longer existing. I mean, can't just have fun these days. Can't do that. Now, with Heroes, again, no longer existing, that means we're not going to get the yearly Dokkan collab. A lot of people have gone, oh, well, Diverse is going to replace it. But, I mean, Diverse has said they're focusing on the characters of the original series. They're not really doing, like, OC characters and stuff like that at the moment for Diverse. So, I'm not so convinced that we're just going to get Diverse characters dropped in. It's not, like, the same thing, right? Now, they dropped the EZA banner. And we have some text here that we could read. So, of course, these are all the featured characters. I don't think it's a good idea to summon on this banner, obviously. A lot of these units, I mean, Meki Cabra is pretty good on Lord Slug's Demonic Power team. Forgive me, I can't say the name. It's a very tough name to say. I mean, Xenopan could be maybe okay off of the crossover team. Same with maybe this Goku and Vegeta. But for the most part, these characters aren't very good, right? Like, God Trunks is solid, but it's either on Time Travelers, which is not a legitimate team, or it's on the crossover team. So, keep that in mind. All right, so there's the character that's guaranteed. Blah, 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 blah. We have the discount summons. Certain heroes' characters can also be recruited with coins. SSR characters that are available in the upcoming. This is the new banner that had like the blue Goku and the Tech Demigra and Eos and stuff like that. But this is the main point we're getting to right here. So, characters who belong to the crossover category will also be available in a summon event that is scheduled to be available in the near future. Now, let's pause for 1 second. Near future, I have no idea what they're referring to right there, right? Because they said a very sort of similar thing with Gogeta and the Gammas, which we covered a couple of times here on the channel, right? How during the worldwide download celebration, this exact thing, like text, with the banner came out, and it said, Gogeta and the Gammas are going to be available, it said like shortly after the worldwide download celebration. And, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. So, I don't know when this is going to happen. Now, last year, the next Dokkan Fest, so it's like the end of November, start of December, kind of like Dokkan Fest, right? Last year, that was Android 21, which, of course, is a crossover character. So, if we would take a look, here's the Xenoverse link, which we're going to talk about in 2 seconds. Let's just grab this Xeno Trunks right here. I believe this is a V-Jump code character. So, very obviously, I do not have this guy. But this is a very, very rare character to have right here. I don't know. Not many people are going to have this guy. But we want to pull up the crossover category team, right? Now, I don't know specifically what it means with this, right? Are we including all of the heroes' characters? Is it only crossover characters? I mean, what's going to happen with this, right? Now, crossover is quite a few. Every hero's character is on crossover, right? All the, like, Super Saiyan Bardock, Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, stuff like that, those are all, kind of like Xenoverse characters. Matter of fact, if we could pull up Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, he is not listed, like, with the Xenoverse. Like, if we look at some of these other Xenoverse characters, like, they've got the Xenoverse thing down there, right? Bardock doesn't have this, but, I mean, this is essentially Bardock from Xenoverse, too, right? So, I mean, that's what this guy is supposed to be. So, we have had a few Xenoverse, crossover Dokkan Fest characters. Now, crossover is a wide umbrella, because then we get to the fusions characters, right? We have some other kind of like just like random assorted characters. These of course are from Fighters. Hachiak, we remember him from like that special thing, stuff like that. But then if we go even further back, we can get to the Arale stuff as well. Now, at the moment, I mean, without talking too much, I know that the Dragon Ball games do not have the ability to use Arale characters at all, whatsoever, right? If that was the case, if not the case, I am 100% positive she would have been in the starting roster for Sparking Zero. Arale, like, would have probably been one of the first 5 or 10 characters they would have probably wanted to get in that game, if not for the fact that they can't, right? So, when we're talking crossover characters, I do not expect the Arale stuff to have any connection to this whatsoever. And the second Arale shows up in any Dragon Ball game, she becomes fair game for all of them. Keep that in mind. So, I mean, if Arale shows up in Breakers, then, Code Red, we could see her in everything, is the way it's going to work. Okay, so, remember, Dr. Lychee, of course, Hachiak movie stuff. Super Saiyan 3 Broly, we remember him, and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta coming from Raging Blast 2 was their initial introduction, was it not? Alright, so, just kind of like talking over, this initial stuff. And again, what I wanted to kind of focus on was a lot of these Xenoverse characters. Now, in particular, I really wanted to focus on Demigra, Toa, and Mira. We could talk about this Trunks as well. I mean, this guy is fair play too. The Super Trunks is probably, like, he's going to be no, effect on anything. Could they give Supreme Kai of Time an awakening? I would love for them to awaken her. Because, like, just regular Supreme Kai of Time, this is the only one that's in the game. So, I mean, I'd love to see her get something, right? Like, she could probably, let's see what her kit is. So, may stun all enemies for 2 turns. So, like, they could give her, who knows what they could do, but she's only an SR. So, it's like, she could get 2 Dokkan Awakenings. She could be potentially, like, a fun unit, right? Character that's on Realm of Gods, Time Traveler. We do really need to build up Time Traveler. We'll see if they're going to make crossover legitimate team. We'll see. Mira. Now, we have Toa, and then we got Demigra. I actually care about these guys right now quite a bit because demonic power. Now is the appropriate time, to me, to EZA these guys and get these guys kind of like back in the swing of things, with demonic power being a thing, and then also with crossover being a thing, right? Now Mira, I mean, you take a look at him, he's on some weirdo team. I mean, dude, he's on uncontrollable power. He's on power absorption, demonic power, resurrected warriors, time travelers, transformation boost. Dude, I'd love for Mira to be super good. Now, I mean, when we're looking at these characters' kits, I mean, dude, look at this. Look how basic they are. Like, the amount of stuff they're going to need. Look at this, too. He would synergize well on demonic power, man, with like, the tech Demigra who needs a full extreme class rotation. And the Slug, we're probably, like, it's easy to run a full villain Slug team. And, so, like, that would not hurt us. And then, of course, neither would, being able to run Demigra. So, this guy would be fun. I would actually love this guy just standalone like this as a Dokkan Fest. I think this could be a pretty fun Dokkan Fest. Now, I am not aware on if they... I would imagine if they wanted to, they could just make this guy a Dokkan Fest. Like, I don't think there's anything stopping them from doing that. I'd love to see that. Like just boom. This, start a turn, Mira final form, right? Like, they could just redo... What is this transformation animation? Let's take a look at this. It's been a long time since I've seen this, man. Yeah, we could just... I mean, it's not that bad, but we could just completely redo that. We could just redo that right there. And make that as an intro. He could be a pretty fun character. We have Tech Toa. We do currently have a good Toa right now. Remember the STR Scientist Toa? She is just Toa, right? Her name. It's just Toa. So they would share the same name. But look at this. Again, I want these guys to EZA, these characters to EZA right now. Because they would fit so perfectly with crossover and with demonic power. So, like, if they would give us a villain crossover leader, so we could run basically like a crossover team, sort of, led by Blue Goku, like a super class one, and then we could have like a villain crossover leader. Could work really well right now, right? Like if they want to make the upcoming Dokkan Fest the villain crossover leader, I think we're already 10 minutes into this. I've got an idea for who it could be. We'll cover it. We'll cover it. But yeah, okay. So there's that. She's got her debuffs. Again, demonic power, time travelers. I'd love to see time travelers become a legitimate team. I don't have Mass Saiyan pulled up, by the way, who is another Xenoverse character. He also, I don't think they would super easy him right now. And also, this is important to talk about. They did only say that Dokkan Fest exclusives and LRs are getting super easy as right now. So I'm going to hold that very literal. Until a non-Dokkan Fest or non-LR gets a super EZA, I'm not assuming that they can, right? We've seen, the Prime Battle LR Goku get a super EZA, but he's what? He's an LR, right? All right, so there's Toa. Demigra could be Demigra would make for a great Dokkan Fest as well. I think Demigra could be a good Dokkan Fest. Now it's been a while. This is the final boss of Xenoverse 1, right? Mira is the final boss of Xenoverse 2, and then Demigra is the final boss of Xenoverse 1. So they do kind of have them both set up right there. This guy gets a strong EZA. He's got his giant form, man. We know how good that shit is. Again, look at this. They all have that same, like, they want to be run with villain shit. And there's a perfect landing spot, a team that they're all on, Demonic Power. Keep in mind, Demonic Power is going to be a team that's going to be pushed with Daima as well. So I would love the idea of these Xenoverse characters getting their EZAs right now. I did pull up Mass Saiyan, yeah. But this guy, it would just be a super EZA, which, again, he has a Dokkan event, but he's not a Dokkan Fest. So at the moment, I'm going to assume that he is not going to be up for a super EZA. But you never know. Xeno Trunks. So this guy, if you guys are new, this is quite a while ago, the drop rate for the future Gohan medal was, bruh. I remember this must have been December of 2016. I remember I was making hot chocolate and I was grinding this, and it's just like, dude, the future Gohan medal did not drop. They used to have memes. You could probably look it up. You could find it. There's jokes they would say, oh, they're gonna drop like LR Majin Vegeta or something like that, and to awaken him to LR, it's gonna take 50 future Gohan medals. Like those were like jokes, like, because the drop rate for the future Gohan medal was so bad. Now, I would be in big favor of this guy getting his EZA or this guy getting his EZA. And one of the big reasons is this. Because remember, that Blue Goku, I know people like him a little bit more than I do. I personally think he's significantly better with his condition hit, which is a Xeno character on the team, or the 3 crossover characters on the team. I mean, if they could give us like a sub EZA, I mean, these are sub EZAs. But, like, I don't know, if they gave this guy, like, a little bit of support, like, all allies, 2 key, 30% attack and defense, and then maybe they gave him, like, 70% dodge and saw 2 or 3, like, he could be a decent character to potentially run on some teams, right? But Xeno Trunks' easing is something I think we could see as well. Either of these guys, Super Saiyan Xeno Trunks or the base form Xeno Trunks, right? This guy is an AoE. Maybe he could be good for World Tournament, stuff like that. Those are always possible. Now, these guys are just kind of like some extra characters to talk about right here. So we have this Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. This is like from Budokai 1, pretty much, isn't it? Is it Budokai 1? Or Budokai 3? I think it's Budokai 1 or 3, I believe. Where there's just like, it's just like the Trunks, from the Android saga that just goes Super Saiyan 2, basically, right? I mean, could they EZA this guy? Yes. I mean, obviously, I'd love to see this guy be good, right? And then, of course, we have these 2 Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas as well. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta does have a Dokkan event, but I don't know if we're going to actually see Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta get another Dokkan event. We are going to see the SCR Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta get a Super EZA. He probably will be very good, I'm sure. A juggernaut defensive character like that? Oh, yes. Daddy wants that. But these guys, who knows? They could be very good EZAs, or Dokkan could just sit on them, for a long time. But yeah, there we go. I just wanted to kind of like talk about the possibility of some of these Xenoverse characters. I would say there's a non-0% chance that we see like the EZAs for like Mira, Toa, Demigra, maybe more, tweeted in like 9 hours. Well, okay, so JP Dokkan is going into maintenance tonight. Apparently Global is not, which I don't understand. I don't know why only JP has maintenance tonight. It seems odd. I don't know. But tonight, we potentially could see some EZA characters, tweeted out by, well, I guess it would be tweeted out by JP because Global doesn't tweet EZAs for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, call it, foolishness. I don't know. So let me know what you guys would think. But now, obviously, it'd be a great time. Demonic Power is a pretty solid team with Slug. Plus, it's going to continue to get enhanced, over the next year or so, I'm sure, from Daima characters being added into the game. So making Toa, Mira, and Demigra usable on that Demonic Power team would be fire. And then, of course, the Xeno Trunkses could be very good, considering Blue Goku right now is a very capable and powerful character. But, I mean, to me, he's quite a bit better once you have his condition filled, which he only needs one character with the name Xeno on the team, and he's cooking, right? So, like, again, they make this guy a support with 70% dodge, and we could be in business. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.